Our people deserve the best, and we have the ability to give it to them. All that's missing is the will. Our focus is on trivial toys and stupid diversions. It's time to get serious. As black people, our manufactured goods must be of the highest quality. We must make textile clothing to be the best. If we're farmers, our food must be the best. If we make art, our literature must be the best. Our music the best. Our movies representing the most intelligent and profound of creative statements. No more ghetto literature. No more urban soap operas. The only stories our so-called writers come up with are all about stupid people having dating problems. We've fallen in love with our dysfunctions, and the creative works we produce show this. But the sad truth is we cannot have a society that is smarter or more aspirational than the people in it. And by and large, most black people today are willfully ignorant. So the first step to change is to embrace the very values we've spent 50 years rejecting, and to drop these petty bad habits once and for all. But we don't have many black people who can create the kind of works that we need, and worse than that, we don't have many black people interested in such work. Our people want to obsess over relationship drama, especially our women. This is childish and regressive. Figuring out how to navigate the dating scene is supposed to be something you figure out in your teens, not something you obsess over from cradle to grave. But having failed to create businesses, the only power we have is to screw up our own lives and those around us, so we fixate on that. We don't challenge anything important. We don't say anything worth hearing. Our people deserve better than this. Rather than tell our writers to create better work, I am challenging black audiences to seek out better work and to not buy inferior work. It is time for us to put in a new boycott, this time against the subgenre of petty relationship drama. The only conversation that is relevant for the intelligent black man today is how to control everything around him and how to use it to gain even more power. No other conversation is relevant. And this perpetual grasping for power must be the topic of conversation whenever black men meet. It must dominate our thinking, pushing out all other trivial diversions. If the morning FM show you listen to is still talking about relationships and celebrity gossip, don't turn it down, turn it off. You'd be better off watching endless repeats of John Henrik Clarke's lectures than listening to the newest story about Kanye and Kim. If the TV show you're watching isn't about how you can empower yourself, turn it off and keep it off. If the black people around you aren't talking about power, get away from them and find some black people who are. We must have a zero-tolerance policy for all immature foolishness, and that begins with your own personal life. Everything in our lives, from the way we make our money to the entertainment we watch, must be a tool of our empowerment. Nobody else on the planet wastes time with things that don't empower them except us. Anything you are interested in, you are supposed to own a piece of. Do you like cars? Then you should own a car company. Do you like books? Then you should be a book publisher, or at the least a writer. Do you like sports? Then you should own a sports team. It is time out for us to be customers. From now on, a black man must be an owner. The media is the defining force in global culture today, and we don't have any media real estate. We have black front men like Bob Johnson and puppets like Puff Daddy who are mouthpieces for the white media interests who own them. And what kind of media are they pushing? More rap videos and comedy shows. Because we don't have enough of those. Enough with black people being on the media chitlin circuit. If you don't own the company that makes the things you like, at the very least own a piece of that company. Do not patronize any business you do not own, or who isn't working in your direct interest. You better start putting everything in this world, and I do mean every single thing, into one of two categories, either tools to serve our power or impediments to that power. This includes business, politics, real estate, people, consumer goods, religion, media, everything. We are at war for our survival, and it is a war we are losing. Many of you didn't believe or understand when I said it before, but I'll bet my words are a little better understood now. In a war, you have to choose targets. These are things to be captured or destroyed. The whites have waged economic war on us, targeting black neighborhoods for destruction, and now entire black cities. They target our businesses for takeover, and the ones they cannot take over, they use laws that they wrote to undermine them and run them out of business. This is the mentality we must have. Choose some targets for takeover or destruction. The reason the Supreme Court stomps on our rights is because they know we don't have any people in Congress who will throw them off the bench for political high-handedness, which, by the way, is exactly what Scalia admitted to when he announced to the world that he looked forward to legislating from the bench, since it would save his political buddies' jobs. Scalia should be off the court and on his way to an indictment. If we had 10 or 20 senators on our payroll, he would be. There's a reason why, even when blacks are the majority in a city, their politicians still do the white people's bidding anyway. Because the whites bought them. Blacks don't need to be the majority to ensure we get what's ours, but we do have to realize that money talks. So far, we have chosen to be silent, especially with each other. This must change. As I said in R.I.P. Black America, if we fight, we win. If we don't, we die. The problem is we haven't been fighting at all. The first step is we must have a gathering of eagles. The internet is a nice place to find like-minded people, but have you ever noticed that when white people and Asians find each other on the internet, they immediately arrange a meeting offline? Take a look at Wong Fu Productions, for example. When they saw they couldn't get the white studios to back Asian films because the studios said the Asian audience was too small, they decided to build that audience themselves by going across the US and Canada to the one place they knew they'd find Asian people: college campuses. Doing this, they have now created a map with a network of contacts. They know where their people are and how to reach them, and both the internet and Hollywood are taking notice. You know, that used to be us during the 60s and 70s. Using the same networking tactics developed during the civil rights struggle, black filmmakers like Melvin Van Peebles got the word out to their people and found a way to circumvent the whites-only policies of Hollywood. Blaxploitation should have given way to major black-owned studios. Instead, it gave way to Tyler Perry. Intelligent Black America needs to begin networking now. If you talk with an intelligent black person online, the next move is to meet them in person. We don't need everyone to get on board with this agenda. In fact, we must accept that fully one half of our people simply are not with us, and truth be told, aren't even worth saving. Hell, even if everyone were on board, as weak and disorganized as we are right now, we simply don't have the strength to save everyone. It will be all we can do to save the strongest among us. We have neither the time nor should we have the desire to save the worthless. Let the dead bury the dead. In my video, Blackface in White and Yellow, I challenged you by asking, what are you going to do about it? Many people thought it cute to say that they would do nothing because they didn't see it as a problem. Now that white supremacy is once again on the march, I relish seeing these fools sit on their hands until their white buddies do them in. But understand that intelligent black society will also suffer the same fate unless we make the deliberate choice to rely on each other and on each other alone. I trust you understand now what I meant when I said that we are all Detroiters now. So, what are you going to do about it?